Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode we're going to be looking at more tips and tricks for one of the cargo run captains, and so we're going to jump straight into a cargo run. We've looked at Astra Cargo previously, who's my favourite so far, and next we're going to move on to my second favourite, which is Astra. So we're going to jump into the game, look at some of the interesting things you can do, and figure out how to make use of it from there. So, one of the main things to bear in mind with Astra is that her abilities are really useful, especially if you can reduce the costs. So we're going to have a look and see what we get, see how the different bosses work, and see how we can move forward from there. So with this here, I don't think any of these are particularly useful. I think Disruptor is fantastic, and Stowaway can be nice in Cargo Run if you have units you don't like, so we're just going to go with that. So we do have a 1-drop, but it's Antios Gauntlet, who we're not the biggest fan of anyway, so we're going to get the 11% here. Hopefully we get the hit, because there is the... So that is the best chance we've got, and they're going to have a reduced chance to hit if they attack us next turn, because Ecti Overcharge has a 40% reduced accuracy, but has the ability to gain 2 attack every single turn. So it says give an ally in range plus 2 attack, but as it stands at the moment, it actually just increases their own attack every single time. So there we go, good chance to miss exactly what happened. So here we've got unit permanently gains 1 attack, so this is something we do want on Astra. So we've got options of putting it in our crew, but in general, in this game, you tend to find that the crew are much more they're temporary. They don't last as long. You don't always end up getting what you want, whereas putting Astra with +1 attack is useful as well. We should have actually attacked here first, so I missed out on 1 point of damage, but I was getting caught up in saying what I was going to here. So I'm going to put Taurian Guardian down. The reason I'm putting Taurian down here is because that basically means that Ecti Overcharge is only going to hit 1 in 5 shots, and that really lets us apply some pressure. Looking at our bridge, I don't really like Antios Gauntlet that much in Cargo Run, so I'm going to use Stowaway, and we're hopefully going to get something like Deadeye, which would be the perfect option. Rickety Backfire would be one of the less valuable. Yeah, we've got Rickety Backfire, still useful, but more of a one-time use, and given that things are permadeath in this game mode, not ideal for us. So they're going to move forward. They're not going to be in melee range here, so there's no point in moving this up unless we really want to start just going for it. And I think I'm not even completely against that idea if we put both of our... So if we put another unit up in front. So we actually blocked our line of sight here. This was a mistake. We should have moved to one side or the other. So that I'm absolutely going to hold my hands up there. Take a 50-50. We did get the hit anyway. And what we'll do is we'll place Axle Pyro at the front, because Axle deals a lot of damage as well. So between the minus to hit from that and this, they're only going to have a 1 in 5 chance of hitting either of these front 2 models. So unless they... so this probably isn't going to do anything with the cargo run. So what we're looking at so far is we haven't actually got many buffs yet. But getting 1 buff on Astra is really useful, because it starts turning into a very useful unit for the game itself. Now, the interesting thing here is we're getting to the point where we're actually starting to lose... attack value. We're getting to the point where their attacks can potentially kill one of our units per turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to start just chipping away as fast as possible. We're going to move Axle Pyro here to try and take both of these into our Fire Flamer without hitting our Taurian. Now, awkwardly, we've actually put ourselves out of Taurian's range here. So what I'm going to do is... I was hoping originally to disrupt this into our Astra to give her armor, but I think I'm just going to attack and do that next turn. So move Astra fairly safe over here, and actually just move Taurian back over this way to keep us nice and safe. Now, we have got another option with with Stowaway here, but I think given that we're trying to end the game quickly, this is actually a good situation for Rickety. I'm not going to go for the bag of bullets. It's not one of my favourites, giving the crew additional attack, because I think this game, basically, it's not going to make too much difference here with the crew itself, and there's a good chance that we can find other ways of getting damage into this as well. So this might miss, it might hit, doesn't matter too much either way. What we'd hope is that they may have line of sight onto Rickety, actually. That was bad placement if they do. Maybe not. Okay, they didn't, that's good. So what we can do here is we've got potentially 6 damage off of Rickety, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so we're very close to actually having the kill here. So if we get into the breach something useful, but not quite. We could actually just Toxoid something, change Toxoid into a 4-drop and see if that's something that could help us here. So we might have to consider doing that in a moment as well, but most importantly, we need to make sure we get all the damage in if we can. So here we're gonna. So we are gonna need to move here. Where's our range indicator? So this we should get an angle in which we can do what we need to. Perfect. So just again pushing as much damage onto the captain here. Rickety's going to come in and try and do the same. We're going to put him closer to Stitchy because Stitchy should die to the explosion. And who knows, maybe we even dodge an attack on the following turn. Here we go, excellent damage coming through there. And then we've got no good line of sight here, but we've got the kill next turn anyway. So we're just going to take the attack. We've got armor on our captain, making it a lot tankier. And then honestly, I think we actually just ignore that, place a Cinder Orb over here, and go for a big attack next turn. I'm going to keep Toxoid, it can be useful with Astra. If they hit anything here, then it dies. If they don't, we win the game. So they could just go for our captain, it'll deal 9 damage to us, but we're going to gain 9 back next turn. If they hit this, it's absolutely game over no matter what. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a relic. Smoking Jacket can be nice, but we took that in our last video, so I want to try and do something a little bit different. So we're just going to go in here and take these out. So one of the things with Smoking Jacket is without Torian, it's actually one of the best things against Ecti Overcharge, and we've already got that out the way. And then we're going to gain everything back to full life. So that was a pretty straightforward round. Wasn't a particularly challenging one, so we'll go into the next one and see what we can do from there. And there's a couple of relics that I want to look out for, and hopefully we can talk those through as well. Now I will say, things like Bag of Bullets are actually probably better in Astra lists than most others, so it could have been a valid option to take. But one of the things you can do with Bag of Bullets is if you place it in there, obviously we've got the ability to give things charge to act straight away. So Bag of Bullets just has that little bit extra value when you can play something out immediately. Something like a Maximus is suddenly dealing 4 damage out of nowhere for 3 Cinder, so it really can add up. So here we're against Rain Shintang, so Rain is another melee champion. And what they do is they deal damage, so their attack power is equal to unspent Cinder, and then at the end of their turn, it does say 1 damage for each unspent Cinder, but it's actually just for 1 damage total for any unspent Cinder. So here we're going to take Disruptor again. Movement is key in these sort of matchups, and see what we get. So we could get an Aria. Aria is nice. Gaining Rapid Fire and Pummel. Now that is excellent. So what I'm going to do is, I believe here I should be able to get in range of it next turn. We've got Disruptor, so I'm just going to take the better shot and see if we can take a 32% shot there. Okay, and given that we can move to the bottom, I'm going to place the Cinder Orb over here so we can actually gain Cinder and Rapid Fire and Pummel in 1 turn next turn. If not, we will just take the Rapid Fire, because I'll be honest, I quite like the idea of doing more damage. This shouldn't do anything because we've got armor. Perfect. So here, we can take both. It's not a good shot. So we've basically got a 97% chance of 2, or if we go here, we've got -39, so we've got a 60% chance of 2 twice. So it doesn't really make a difference, and given that this has it's much more guaranteed here, but there is a chance of getting 4 damage here, so I want to go for this. There we go, it didn't work out any differently either way, so that's absolutely fine. And then what I'm going to do here is, I've got a couple of choices, so I could play Rickety, Torian, or Toxoid. Basically, Axel Pyro could play as well, but it reduces... Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to do Axel Pyro, because what I want to do is actually knock Rain Shintang back, keep them as far away from us as possible, use the little edges here to get a bit of distance. We're not going to worry about putting ourselves into Aria yet, but we're going to place this here so that next turn we can pick up Aria and gain more Cinder. And then, given that he's likely to run towards us, Axel Pyro will be able to take some damage out, and we can start really putting the pressure on with 2 damage rapid firing Astra. Okay, I would argue, somewhat, that that does not constitute line of sight. I don't think that used to happen in the previous patch, so that's an interesting one to see there. We're going to take our shots first, because we can just move afterwards and be a little bit safer. We're going to pick up an Aria here, which puts us up to, I believe, 1 left. So we've got a maximum of 8 units, we've got 7 now. So I'm going to move Axel Pyro out to here, get our Fire Flamer off, and what we're going to do is just look for a route where we can get the damage and move back as far as possible. So there's not much to do there, so we're just going to do this. We're going to place Torian Guardian down in front, so just blocking this route as much as possible. And then we're going to place an orbital bombardment in every direction they could possibly want to walk towards us, to force them to either go down to get out of it, or to just sit in this. There may be a small space here they could actually get out of, which I might have misplaced it slightly, but all in all I feel pretty good about this. Oh, they're just fast enough to come around here and potentially kill someone. Yeah, so they killed Axel. Not the happiest about that. I like Axel. I actually didn't realise I'd have enough movement to get all the way around there, but that works out fine. Okay, and now we can just start going for damage. So we're not actually in base contact yet, so we can move in here and get 4 damage. Potentially. So we are reduced because obviously Ion Storm is a reduction there. We missed everything. That's not ideal. So 4 Cinder doesn't get as much as we particularly want, so what we can do is we can actually just into the breach of Rickety and push damage in this way. So it means if we move Torian over this side, go for a hit. It actually means we've moved Arya incorrectly. We should have shot first, because now that's just taken away. Does Rickety not fit over there now? Right, let's... This change in movement speed is actually so much bigger than I thought. Right, so let's do this. So this might mean we hit Torian, but we're also going to lose Rickety as well. But I don't mind losing Rickety. I'm not worried about it. I'd rather actually have him out of the roster. I was kind of hoping you would die, because personally I'm not a big fan of having Rickety around. It's just corrosive. Okay, so they're just going to kill something here. They're very close to killing our captain. Yeah, they can deal a lot of damage here. Oh no, they don't have pummel. I forgot they didn't have pummel. So now this is just an easy win for us from here. We're going to heal a couple of things up. Question is, are there any buffs we want? So again, I'm not a big fan of Smoking Jacket. Annoyingly, they haven't placed another unit, so that doesn't help too much. And the only thing that can get onto here is Rickety, so we might as well give Rickety fast. It doesn't hurt to, because we can just kill here with something else. We don't want to spend any Cinder, because if we don't spend any Cinder, we heal 5. So we're just going to heal that all the way up, back up to 18 on our captain. Now, one of the things I was going to mention is that reducing the ability costs onto Astra are really, really useful. A couple of different reasons. One is the Cinder Orbs, whereas normally you place them, if you pick them up you gain 1 Cinder back, so it's just net 0. If they cost nothing, you can actually just place it down every single turn and get a free Cinder every single turn. Now, if you've got something that refreshes your actions, especially if that's free as well, you then get 2 free Cinder per turn. If you've got the Heroic Amulet, every time you kill a unit you get an additional free Cinder, and on top of that, every unit you play, you can give haste and charge as well. So it's a really, really powerful combination with Astra, and it's going to be something you should definitely be looking out for. So here we go, Heroic Amulet. This is something we want to see. So it's going to refresh our abilities on a constant basis. Now, at the moment, we're not too worried about some of our abilities, but what we are worried about is refreshing our movement and attacks. It's a really, really powerful ability. We're just going to place this here, hoping that next turn we should be able to get into base contact with all 3 of these. We won't be able to get enough Cinder all at once, but that's fine, because we get up to a maximum of 5. So we're going to actually need to spend some to even use it all at once. Okay, so we have to pick here. It doesn't actually matter too much which we pick, but what we can do is place... Probably Rickety needs to go at the back, actually, to be safe. Then we can move in here, gain our Heroic Amulet and our 6 Cinder as well. And then we can place another unit, which is probably just going to be our Torian Guardian over here. And I don't think we need to... We could rush out and get an Arya as well, actually. So let's do that. Let's... Anything we can push over into this safely. Yeah, this will do. Because this should still keep the ability on each other. And then we can place Arya at the back as well. So it's just going to give us more options of shooting Acid Maker Matek here. Torian's probably going to die, because Matek can just do 4 damage straight to Torian. But then it just puts him in a position where we can start doing with things.
Don't worry. It's all nothing.
Yeah. So, we've taken a lot of damage, but we can really start churning out the damage ourselves now. So we're going to start by going in here. Getting that damage through as well. We'll go for Arya. I'm actually not going to use... Okay, we missed that, which is quite unfortunate. I'm actually not going to use all of Rickety's abilities right now. What I'm going to do is move backwards somewhere and do something that I would usually advise is a terrible idea, and just take a normal range attack with Rickety. The reason I've done that is because next turn we're going to have the option of next time we're going to have the option of using our Disruptor Beam and Nano Shield to make sure Rickety survives. The fact we didn't explode is great for us there as well. And then what we're going to do here is we could play Toxoid out, but it doesn't provide much damage. So what I'm actually going to do is just place a Cinder Sphere just in front of their captain to make it really hard for them to get onto us. Maybe they can actually get this way as well. And with 2 Cinder left, we can either carry it over and have 6, which is good for us. We can play a big unit next turn. Or we could do Stillness, but I think carrying it over is the best choice here. So otherwise I would consider Stillness, but I imagine we could probably just run up and deal with that way. Okay, yeah, so they're going to take these out. They're going to come and hit us. I imagine they have... Oh, they don't have Pummel, but they've just got increased chance to hit. So this is going to be pretty good for us. I think we should be able to deal a lot of damage this turn, especially with the armour on our captain as well. And then with Rickety, we're going to be throwing damage at them. Okay, so we've already got rapid fire, but it doesn't mean we can't start putting that on someone else. So, over here is going to be good. So what we're going to do is just hop out of range here, attack this a couple of times. Got a crit as well, which is nice. Is there a way of getting... There you go. This looks like we actually get that... Oh, we don't need that box on this unit anyway. It doesn't matter. But we still need to push that in that direction. So, let's just focus on that. Now we're going to place Nano Shield. So Rickety can do 6, so we actually can't do enough with Rickety here, so all we're going to do is actually just throw Rickety away, go for the damage. So potentially 6 here, which would be nice. Nope, still not the full amount. Okay, we got the hit there. And now, so here's the thing. Switchback has the ability to gain rapid fire and slow, but just giving Switchback rapid fire for free seems pretty good to me. Because we care about our captain HP, I'm not going to bother shielding Rickety. We're happy for Rickety to just die. This has actually been the best game I've seen Rickety in so far in any cargo run. So, pretty happy for this to be his track record here. Okay, so they can get a shot off here, but we'll heal all that damage next turn. And in theory here, we should have enough just to kill this off. There's no way of getting Switchback onto the armour, so we might as well just give it to Arya. And then between us all here, we have got enough damage to take this out. So all I need to do is just make sure we get the best lines of sight possible. So we're going to attack here. Perfect, and then there's nothing else to grab. So we're just going to go for the attacks here as well. So we didn't spend any Cinder here, so we can again heal 5 on Astra. With that armour here, we are still really tough. What I'd really like to find is some more attack buffs, because as I've said in previous videos, I find attacking with the captain is a really, really solid way of just making sure you've got extra damage on the battlefield every time. But now, we've got a buffed up Switchback and a slightly tankier Arya. So, we're running low on units. We haven't seen that many good unit drops in this run so far. But we've still got enough pressure. And if we find a box that gives +3 attack to our captain, or... In fact, that would probably be the best thing we can see, is +3 attack. Because we've got Heroic Amulet refreshing our abilities when we damage something, we're in a really good spot if you find that. So, we've got expensive units anyway, and not many of them, so Stowaway is bad. Corrosive Particles isn't that useful. I think Orbital Strike and Plink. Plink is just very versatile. Permanently reduce a unit's cost by 4. I mean, that's very useful, especially if we're going to be growing some Cinder here. I mean, that probably wasn't a great place to put it, but it doesn't really matter where we put it, because next turn we're going to pick it up, and we're going to place Arya down straight onto that, or we can try and go for saving it another turn, and place Switchback down onto it in the future. Stimulating Formula. Now that's a fun one, because it means we attack everything that we so that we jump into. So I might actually just try and go for that. And we can actually move again with this, which is nice. So with Heroic Amulet, that actually refreshes everything, doesn't it? So we can actually just pop over here. Oh yes, because minus to hit over that way, that's why. Wow. Okay. So that was a really solid time from us there. So if we just get back over here, we might even be able to just get straight back in range of this next turn. Excellent. That worked out really well. Okay, so here's the enemy captain. Yeah, they face Taria at the back, and I'm assuming this is another little turret. Yeah. So now I actually think we save our Cinder up for Switchback. Glowing Amulets are refreshing abilities, so this is one we really do want in this. So this is where things can get really fun. Because if we can get this, We can... I mean, we could honestly grow a Cinder or into the breach something, but I don't really feel like we even need to. I think we do actually play Arya back here. Yeah, let's place Arya back here.
I could hide in the corner.
And we'll just move up, take Stimulating Formula, go for a couple of attacks, and then... Oh, sorry, no, that was the glowing armor. So yes, we click off of Astra, click back on. We've got refresh abilities now. We get a few more damage in. And then we can move away again, and we pop our orbital down in this area here, making it very hard for them to move towards us. And we can grow some Cinder back here as well, just to make sure we can get switched back in here for cheap next turn. And we've got Blink, so might as well Blink. So now we're getting this... we've got basically this combo here, Heroic Amulet and Glowing Armlet are probably my favourite two things together, but with Stimulating Formula as well, it can get absolutely ridiculous. Ooh, interesting setup here. So they're going to bombard us. We're probably just going to take it. Yep, that was a Stimulating Formula issue. They killed our Cinder Orb there, that's fine. So we've got the ability to pick up the Sentinel. But I think what we really want to do here is just move back over here, take our couple of shots. Wow. Refresh abilities. We can't actually do things in the order we want to because we need to make sure we get switched back. Maybe we should have moved differently because we could actually... What a fool. So no crit, please. Okay. Now we're just going to wait till next turn because I'm an idiot and I spent the Cinder that I was going to spend playing Switchback. So we've still got lethal, but we're just going to make sure we get a cheaper Switchback next turn and then we're going to end the game. So that was a little bit of a misplay there. But having a 2-Cinder auto rapid firing Switchback seems like a pretty good option to me, so I'd very much like that to be the case. They can move back all they want, they're not going to stop us getting to that point. Especially not now they've placed that down. So, what we can do, if they've got Nano Shield, oh, Nano Shield's interesting. Definitely buys them a turn, but then I don't think that's going to be enough. What have we got here? A Stitching with Patchy, I mean, can't even get to it, but I don't really want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the fun things you can do. Okay, so they shot us here. I've got 0% here actually, so, but if we take our shots here... There we go. So we hit both. What you can often do sometimes, if you don't hit both or you don't kill your target, you can refresh your abilities. So you can attack the captain first, refresh your abilities, kill the target, that refreshes all your abilities, attack the captain again, refresh abilities, kill another target, and then that refreshes it all over again, and it just keeps going on and on and on in that fashion, and it ends up being quite ridiculous. So what we're going to do here, just to sort of avoid any concerns we might have, is just keep refreshing things, moving up as much as possible and trying to take out anything we can. So the range of this is just over there, so we can just stay out of that. Believe it, yeah, it does show us. So we've already refreshed our abilities, but if we attack this and get a hit, we didn't, but we would actually allow us to refresh that as well. We're not going to even try and do much of these, we'll just grow Cinder to do so for the... In fact, yeah, because if we can get that next turn, we might be able to heal an extra 2 life, or heal 1 life rather. So the captain's basically dead. There's very little they can do. And what we need to do here is just find ways of killing them and gaining as much life as possible. There's another rapid fire pummel thing, but I don't think we've even got enough to worry about that. We're going to heal to full here, so we're just going to move in close and kill the captain. Got 4 damage here, refresh our abilities, and 4 damage again, or we could blink. There we go. So we're going to heal to full, we're doing a really good spot. Again, we just want attack for our captain at this point. We've got a really good combination of abilities. The fact that we can actually Stimulating Formula in as well, so we can move in, attack twice, refresh abilities, attack twice, move to something else, attack with a rapid fire, attack with Stimulating Formula. It really does mount up quite quickly. So you can see how much damage we can really put out, even with only 2 attack on our captain, is incredible.
This is so fun.
Okay, so what have we got here? Yin Gao Shui. Sorry, Yin Gao Shui. Here I'm going to take Cinder Infusion and Vortex. Vortex just gets me into range quicker. Honestly, I actually think that in this, given that they've probably got Pummel, yeah, Pummel and Fast, but we've got Rapid Fire, I honestly think we actually just start racing them down more than anything else. So see what their range is, keep just outside of it, and we'll just start going for the damage and trying to hit them for plenty of damage per turn, because we've essentially got the same damage output, but we can refresh ours and they can't. So without even playing any crew, we're just going to pick up anything we want to, reduce assist cost, reduce unit cost. So we're going to just pop back here.
Wait till she uses her teeth.
Do we need to even... We can actually play switchback down here for nothing. Can we get it on? Okay, so what we can do... No, we can't play it for nothing, but you can play it so that the next turn it costs nothing. And then we'll just pull them away. There's no reason to give them any extra distance, so we'll just pull them further back from us. And then next turn, we're actually getting pretty close to even having a chance of finishing them off. We're not going to be quite there yet, so this is going to be able to hit us, but... Okay, because they've done that, they get their 4 attacks, that's fine. Plink themselves, yeah. So we've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's, we've got 12, so we actually should have lethal here in theory. So if we move away to here, get our shots in. Then we're going to refresh our abilities. We have to choose who we'd rather take hits from. And for me personally, that's going to be on our captain rather than on switchback. So we're going to move in here and get a couple of hits as well. We're going to take more hits on the captain as well with our armour. And then switchback's going to move in here and just finish the job off. So this is where stimulating formula, rapid fire, they all work really well in conjunction with each other. And we don't heal much life, but again, with armour, 11 is functionally the same as 22 a lot of the time anyway. So we're actually doing pretty well on life total here. And you can see how quickly things stack up. We've just taken out the final boss. We didn't even have to think that hard about it. We just really did churn out the damage, stack up Astra, get a lot of fun interactions, and using our relics effectively really gave us a good way of just consistently putting damage onto all the captains. And you know, we absolutely flew through those. I don't think Yin Gaoshua even played a single unit. We just managed to take her out before they even got to a single one of their spending a single cinder on a unit. Didn't use their ability once, just a full-on punching match. So I absolutely love these kind of builds. There's definitely more viability in those than a lot of others, but then there's things like you can play Smoking Jacket, you can give your crew additional attack. Like, I wouldn't mind if there were stacking attack buffs for crew and that sort of thing in the relic section. So I think if you've got Bag of Bullets, maybe you could get that twice. Armor plates gives your crew 3 health. I think maybe that could also stack multiple times as well. And it'd be interesting if you got multiple buffs of the same type of either Bag of Bullets or armor plates, that those maybe wouldn't take up an extra slot. I think that would be a really fun way of doing things. So hopefully you've seen sort of a nice interesting way of playing Astra. If we could have reduced the abilities to 0, see some fun interactions there as well, but we didn't quite see that great. But all in all, another fun cargo run. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really does make my day. Like and comment, and most importantly, have a good day.